In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing for
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Red?
Gone are the days of Pogs and Cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
This is Best Gen, where we complain about stupid stuff. And it's called Best Gen because we're from the same one. The gens of all the gens that there are, we're from the same one, and it's better because Doctor Who used to be good. Because Doctor Who used to be good, and now it's bad. And so get ready to get all nostalgic and stuff, because we're gonna talk about how bad Doctor Who was.
Oh boy!
I
literally just finished watching it at double speed.
Yeah, I started watching this morning, and I couldn't finish, and so I finished about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah, I
remember the Christmas episodes used to be so freaking good. Like we would get together with our friends and you know, back in the day you could watch.
Oh, we would watch it as it came out. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean back in the day you could watch the Doctor Who episodes like a week after they aired or something on Amazon for free or something like that. But you know, the Christmas specials we'd actually buy on Amazon and watch them with our friends.
Oh yeah.
I remember the last one that we got together, it was for your wedding. We went up there to Oregon and we bought this was the 40th anniversary or 50th anniversary or whatever.
Was this
the War Doctor?
Oh yeah. Oh,
we
so
watched
good.
that episode at your in-laws' house, and that was a freaking amazing episode, dude.
That was one of the best.
It was so
episodes
good.
/ Christmas episodes ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think everything after that it just started getting worse and worse, and this one was so bad it was nonsensical. But we'll get into it.
Peter Capaldi's send-off was pretty good.
Peter Capaldi's ending was really good. His last Christmas special, the Husbands of River song, that was a really good episode too.
Yeah, his performance was fantastic. His seasons progressively got worse and worse.
Yeah,
writing wise, but yeah, we'll get into it. We've got Doctor Who to talk about, and we've got Silo, and I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and apparently
Nice.
Nosferatu's in theaters, and I don't think anyone's seen it yet. And Mark Clark donated $4.99 for the goal. Yeah, I guess you can do like streaming goals now because YouTube wants to be more like Twitch and TikTok and stuff. So
yeah.
I just said I don't really know. And we got Charles watching live finally. Nice. Yeah, that was a great episode. The War Doctor. Did I catch? Yes, I'm very sick. My kids keep getting sick, and I can't not take care of them as a father, and so they keep getting me sick. And the problem is they don't have the decency to all be sick at the same time.
Yep.
So they've been staggering their sicknesses. So we've been we've been sick on and off with like 3 different flus, colds, things for the last 2 months. It's been absolute chaos.
Same with us.
You gotta sit down with them and tell, can we work a schedule, guys?
Yeah. Yep.
Charles is not the 8th Bentley. He's the 7th? Wait.
No, he's the 6th.
6th? He's the 6th.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's number 6.
He's the best.
Yeah. I'm. This isn't a bit. Like, I'm legitimately flustered because I just watched the episode.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
Yep.
It's so bad. Oh,
There were 2 things that made me laugh, and the rest of it, and one of them was just a rehash of the previous joke that made me laugh.
we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Awful.
There was one moment where I was like, "Oh, wait, no, they got it wrong. That could have been really clever, and they screwed it up."
Yep.
Okay. News. We might have the Prophet of the Dragon jumping on for a bit. Maybe not. He wants to talk about Silo, but he also has work tonight, so
Gotcha.
we're at his leisure. Oh boy. News. Mexa's got a girlfriend now, right? That's the news.
Finally.
Yeah, I have a stinger that I prepared just for you.
Oh, no.
It's I've never used it before. It's completely unique just for you. There you go.
Congratulations!
Nope, sorry, that's the wrong one. There's no sex before marriage. So sorry, that was supposed to say congrats. That was supposed to say congrats on the girlfriend. So I'm sorry, that was not appropriate.
No, I totally didn't ask you to please do it. Because I'm totally not excited after 2 years of not having a girlfriend and finally getting a girlfriend again. Yeah.
Nice, we're happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't watched anything, so we'll do the news first, like always.
Yeah, it was pretty weird because I received your Dr. Pooh file, and let me just say, I thought that you mistook me for your wife and sent me your proctologist folder or something. I was like, is this Dr.
No.
Pooh that I
it was the least sexy thing I could have sent you. It was the Doctor Who episode. So.
Yeah, I was like,
I think I would rather watch your proctology exam.
Yeah,
I think
your colonoscopy.
Oh man.
No, but
Mex is talking about sneaking into Britain. Nah, it's not very good there.
That's a longer journey.
there's a lot of Indians. I'm sorry. Punjabis. No, but there's a lot of Christians.
So Paramount just decanonized Star Trek Discovery.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, but they did it through Lower Decks, like the animated TV show they had. They talked about how that's not canon anymore. So it might be a joke, or it might be. They're so far gone though. Like Star Trek has been, and they're releasing the movie with Michelle Yeoh, the District or something. What's it called?
Yeah,
District 13.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be garbage too. That was supposed to be a TV show that they turned into a movie, like Moana, or Moana 2. I mean, so who knows? I don't think it is a sign of shifting tides. I think it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sign of a dying thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I remember of the Star Trek was the Klingon rap.
Yeah, that was bad.
The musical.
Hey, I'm a Klingon, and I'm here to say I'll destroy all your ships on another day.
Yeah.
So bad. Oh, what a joke! Everything is a joke.
See, something like that could have worked for the Orville or something
Sure.
like that.
Yeah.
It
You
would
know,
have.
But yeah, it was just
You are
so
very
out of place for Star Trek.
Yeah.
much like
I don't know.
Fight Club, we don't talk about STDs. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
So gross. So gross. Very gross.
Oh no.
War of the Rohirrim
Oh.
is already out on digital.
Okay.
2 weeks after its theatrical release.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
Good job on that one, everybody. Not fingers crossed. I didn't mean
How
it.
can they flop anime? That's the thing. How can they flop anime and
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings? And Lord of the Rings.
Well, you could do it by not caring about the source material. Yay!
And put a chick on it and make it lame.
Make it lame and gay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, the mainstream media is covering how bad Doctor Who is.
Mm.
It's woke and political. It was so bad. It was such
That's
a
not
bad
even
episode.
that's not even the worst part of it. It was just the whole plot.
It was just bad.
nonsensical. It was so bad.
Well, it's still with Jiggy Wajaga or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Nakudi Gatwa.
It's a Chuti Gatwa.
Chuti Guayaba.
Chuti Guava. Yeah, we'll get into it. So hot off the release of the Penguin, and all last week they were talking about, oh, we're so excited we're going to get the Batman next year, or in 2026.
Yeah.
James Gunn has decided to push the Batman back.
That's
They made this announcement, and everyone's like, oh no, why? And then the next day they're like, oh, it's not James Gunn's fault. We promise. It's because Matt Reeves isn't ready. His script isn't ready.
Oh, for sure.
He's had like 5 years to write it. It's not ready. It's definitely Matt Reeves' fault and not James Gunn being a petulant child and pushing back Batman because he doesn't want it to exist.
pushing back the only successful part of your DC franchise just because it's not a part of your DCU. Your rebooted DCU.
It's very sad because I saw the Batman the other day again, and it's very it gets better with HBO, everything, cinematography, everything, and it's just such a disgrace that this guy, because he cannot put a plan together, right? Because Creature Commandos is doing so bad, and it's one of the most Reddit things that I've seen in my life. And
I started it.
Yeah.
I started the first. I was like, okay, I need to be up to date. I got about 5 minutes into the first episode and I turned it off.
Yeah, I think there was like a middle finger and a fuck you joke, and I was like, okay, I'm off. I'm out.
Which show is this?
Creature Commandos. This is
right,
the
right.
DCU debut is an animated TV show called Creature Commandos, which is basically just the Suicide Squad, but they're all creatures and none of them are humans.
Guardians of the Galaxy style.
No, just bad.
Yeah.
Mark Clark, thanks. The $4.99 again. If I'm sick, does that mean that I'll get caught up in? That's all I've been doing this last week. I've given you so much brick and so much steel reinforcement. So many of them. I've been farming AFK, listening to audiobooks. Mark, okay, you can't possibly need more hardened brick from me.
I need to get back on Conan Exiles.
But yeah, I'll be back on. David, you need to see what I've done to the base.
Yeah, apparently.
I've been so sick. I've just been listening to audiobooks and playing. I'm like, oh, I should probably stream, but I'm like, I don't feel good. You know, I don't feel camera ready. I don't feel good tonight. I don't want to be streaming right now, but the show must go on. I've just been building. You need to see the base. It's wonderful. We'll do another Conan stream soon. I'm really, really proud of what I've built. I don't want to spoil it. It's too good. It's too good. There's so many new things to show you, David. Anyway, because you haven't been on since like Wednesday, right?
It's been a minute, yeah.
I've done some wonderful things. It's huge. No, Mark, I don't even
Not
know.
huge. It's huge.
It's huge. I don't even know when Mark was on last, but I added like a bunch of new rooms and a secret hidden vault, and
Nice.
and I'm extending the base even further. Well,
Nice. I
been
haven't
fun.
been able to get to the base yet. Still managing.
you got on today. You saw what I did. Yeah, I've it's fun. I'm proud of it.
Nice.
Nice.
Anyway, yes. So the DCU is just an absolute mess right now. And it's such a. The Penguin was like so successful. Like everyone loved the Penguin. It gained viewership every single week. And then you shoot it in the foot by saying, "Oh no, sorry." Like James Gunn. I want to like James Gunn. I want to like the Superman. It's just he keeps lying at every turn, and he's just been petulant. Like he's been petty like this. Oh, yes, the keychains. You made them. They're really cool. They're what's it called? It's not wood burning because it's into leather but it's like burnt into the leather. It's leatherworking, but the technique where you like burn pattern, it's cool.
Yeah,
cool stuff.
Good. My wife just got a new purse for Christmas, and the shade of the leather perfectly matches her purse. So she saw that and she snagged it. And it's made on her purse now.
Yeah, I guarantee you, Elliot will use it more than me.
Yeah.
So,
Did a good job.
The game launch is fine for me. Our server went down over the weekend, and we couldn't access it like all day Saturday for some reason. But it's back now.
Yeah. There have been several glitches. The weirdest one for me is one time all of the crafting stations and containers disappeared from our base, and they wouldn't reappear until I walked up to where they should be, and all of a sudden the crafting station would reappear. But for some reason the containers would not reappear. I restarted several times, and so anyways, I just offloaded a bunch of my crap in one of the random workstations and sorted it out later when it was fixed.
We're not here to talk about Conan.
It's a little buggy sometimes.
We're here to talk about the Batman and how messed up the DCU is.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about Conan. We'll play. I'll do a Conan stream soon. We'll catch up. Matt is committed to making the best film he possibly can, and no one can accurately guess how long the script will take to write. Matt Reeves said that the script was done like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's James Gunn who keeps delaying the project. Like he's such a liar, and it's documented lies. He's lying about things that he has said on the internet. It's like, "Oh no, I never said that." You're like, but there's physical proof that what you're saying is a lie. It's just and then to choose Creature Commandos as the flagship, right? The debut release for the DCU, and have it be so bad and also so confusing continuity wise, because the continuity it makes no. Oh, also, the other Batman movie has been delayed. The Brave and the Bold. I think they're waiting to see if Superman is any good, and it doesn't look very good. Yeah. The buzz, they just did screenings for Superman, and it's not good, is what everyone is saying. It's kind of a mess.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens when you.
The buzz is not good. I'm hearing bad things. I'm hearing you should be worried things. It sounds like James Gunn is aware of the feedback. And it's forced reshoots. And James Gunn immediately denied, "Oh no, we're not doing any reshoots. It's just pickup shots. No scenes, no reshoots." Except that Warner Brothers has said they're doing reshoots.
And pickup shots is a type of reshoot.
Yes.
It's a subclassification of a reshoot. It might not be as extensive as refilming whole scenes. But it's something you didn't shoot before or didn't properly shoot before, and it needs to be changed. So you need to go back and shoot extra content. That's a reshoot.
Yeah, Charles, we can invite you to the server. It'd be fun. The tone, it has the same tone as the Mummy films and Captain America's movie. I think that's fine. I think that's a good tone. Nicholas Hoult is the standout. I assume he will be, because I haven't seen anything good performance-wise from any of the other actors.
Mm-hmm.
The film is decent, but a large chunk of the film is unfinished, with only a third of the film's VFX done. Yikes. Like, it's coming out pretty soon. It has the least amount of humor of any James Gunn film, and I feel like that would be a good choice.
Yeah, that's actually the best. Like, he's not good at humor.
Superman's not supposed to be funny. He's supposed to be heartful, soulful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Most people will be satisfied with the movie, and it should be received well enough to continue to... It doesn't need to be received well enough. This needs to be a home run.
Yeah.
This needs to be huge. Half the fun is to see if you can get me sidetracked. The easiest way is to bring up Lightbringer or the Wheel of Time. Yeah.
Yep.
True. I'm not even going to talk about Lightbringer.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first theatrical release in the new DCU, right?
Yeah.
So it's gotta be good.
It doesn't look good. I want to be optimistic, and of course, when I get in theaters and I sit down, I'll give it a fair shot, a blank slate. But like, it does not look good to me right now.
Yeah,
I'm not even worried. I'm apathetic.
Yeah.
Not as much as like Star Wars apathy, but I'm just like, I'm just so jaded with superheroes right now. And I think the rest of the world is too. I don't think it's a unique feeling right now to superhero movies. Like, I've always said that superhero fatigue is not a thing. It's bad movie fatigue. But a lot of the bad movies are superhero movies right now. So yeah, there is a subconscious connection.
Yeah.
Not even like I saw a tweet recently today that said Marvel Rivals prove the fact that there is no such thing as superhero fatigue.
There you go.
You play that game is literally like going back to when you were a child and you were playing Marvel vs. Capcom and you chose a superhero and you will like feel yourself like playing that superhero, and it's even more immersive now. So no, like I've been playing nonstop Marvel Rivals every day, every single day, and I always like seeing the Marvel heroes and playing with the superpowers and doing all the things and doing the combos with other superheroes, which is one of the things that you can do.
And you can even go back to the Spider-Man games, right? Like everyone loved the first game. It was a huge success, and everyone hated the second game, not because it was superhero fatigue, but because they made it stupidly woke.
Yeah.
Well, then there was also Marvel Snap, which I haven't played in a while, admittedly, but it's an amazingly smart game. Very fun to play.
I would love nothing more than for this movie to be phenomenal, right? I would love to be able to forget about Henry Cavill. At least his Superman, right? And just move on to just full on excitement for his Warhammer 40K, right?
Yes.
But not only does this have to be good because of DCU's track record, it has to be extra good because you fired Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And as much as James Gunn likes to lie and say, no, I didn't fire him, yes, it was James Gunn's decision to boot Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So, like, if this Superman isn't perfect, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
it was definitely not his choice. It was
It's bad
definitely
movie. It's woke fatigue, is what it is. But yeah, and the entire thing is just a mess. And I know I've talked about how messed up the timeline is before, and then I watched Creature Commandos, and I was even more confused. So, this is how we're launching the universe, guys. The first canon piece of media is Creature Commandos. And then the second canon piece of media is Superman the movie next year.
it's
But, except,
The second season of Suicide Squad is still canon.
no, not Suicide Squad. Season 2 of The Peacemaker
Oh, the Peacemaker, right?
is also going to be canon, but season 1 is not canon. Season 1 is the DCEU, right? Is the old universe. Season 2 of Peacemaker is going to be canon in the
What?
new DCU. And in Creature Commandos, the first 10 minutes, they're talking about James Gunn's Suicide Squad. So apparently Suicide Squad is also canon. Which means
which you called it.
Jared Leto is canon.
Yeah.
kind of.
It is so he just keeps flip-flopping on everything. Every single word that comes out of his mouth is a lie. And I don't want to be like a James Gunn hater. I'm not a James Gunn hater. I like most of his movies, but he keeps lying.
Yeah.
He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. The only thing that is canon is his work, not anyone else's. He's gonna probably say Blue Beetle is not canon anymore, even though I said it was for like a year, for 2 years, because no one was going to watch Blue Beetle and no one went to watch goddamn Blue Beetle because of that. And then he's lying.
Except Blue Beetle is in Creature Commandos. There's a vision sequence with Blue Beetle, right? It might be the new one. I don't know. He's not making this easy. Like, if you're gonna do a full reset, do a full reset. If not, don't.
It's such a weird way to do a reset.
Like, no one would have complained if we just, if the Flash movie came out and destroyed half the universe, and now we're starting in a different universe, and maybe some of the characters got carried over. No one would have. It would have been okay. This is a soft reboot, and this is where we're starting from. Everyone would have been okay with that. But you didn't choose to do that. You're like, no, everything's dead. Well, except for all the things that I made, those are real. Look, nothing is canon until Creature Commandos this year, right? Then Superman. Okay? Some actors will be playing roles that they've played previously. Like Waller. The black chick. Whatever her name. What's her? Amanda? Amanda Waller? Yeah.
They cannot get another black chick. Like, oh my god.
There's only one ever.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a big name.
Her name is Viola.
Yes, she's a big name, right. So some of the actors will carry over, but it's different, okay? And some of the plot points might be consistent with plot points that we've done. Okay. And but nothing will be canon until Creature Commandos, okay? But in season 1, that's the old stuff. But season 2 is canon. It's so stupid. And we might reference things that happened in movies in the past, even though they're not canon. But us referencing them, just the parts that we're referencing are canon. And this happens in the first episode of Creature Commandos. They talk about his Suicide Squad movie where Rick Flag Jr. gets killed by Peacemaker. Because Rick Flag Sr. is in Creature Commandos, and he talks about how his son is dead. It's so confusing.
Yeah, it's not like the comics, especially DC comics, haven't been confusing just like that in the past. They've had several reboots and several soft reboots, and even during some of those reboots, like the New 52, for example, they said, we're rebooting everything, and some of the origins of some of these characters have changed, but basically Batman, everything that happened to Batman in the past has happened in the past. It just everything happened in a 5-year period instead of the
I don't care
year,
what they
30
do.
years.
Just reboot or don't. Just be
Yeah.
freaking consistent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't tell us you're doing a hard. Oh, the only reason that we can't bring Henry Cavill back is because we have to do a hard reboot. Oh, except for that, I'm going to keep all of my favorite characters that I invented.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, and also he's going to put his brother as well in everything he can.
Yeah, and
He-
you know we're gonna
Cool.
we're gonna give you blue balls, and we're gonna pay for Henry Cavill to do to
Black-
appear at the end of Black Adam, which was James Gunn did that. That was
Yeah.
his decision
Yeah.
And that was a good
to
decision.
get
I like
people
that.
to get people to see that movie,
Yeah.
and
it
then
worked.
when they put him in charge, now we're gonna fire him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked. People went to see that movie. It was the last barely successful movie from DC.
I actually I kind of liked it. I thought it was
I
kind of
enjoyed
I thought it was a
it.
pretty
That
fun
kinda
movie.
was good. Yeah. Doctor Fate, especially.
Dr. Fate was done.
Oh,
really
well done.
It was
Well,
really fun
I
seeing.
like
It was really fun. It's not. It's like a 7 out of 10. It's not a
7.5,
masterpiece, but it was
Yeah.
fun. I didn't hate The Rock in it, which I was shocked by, and it was really fun to see Pierce Brosnan in a fun role.
Yeah, the CGI was insane. The CGI was really good at time. I mean, there was like goofy, like with
It
the
looked good. I liked it.
was very good with the Fate and the suits. I wanted to see more of that, but what does this guy tell us? Oh, he's been lying to us about everything. And the Shadow thing got me so pissed off.
Yeah. Oh, they're using the same actor for Blue Beetle. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but we couldn't use the same actor for Superman.
Yeah.
Like,
Sense.
look, and Henry Cavill is getting, screwed over by Hollywood. He probably he's probably not even that expensive to hire, because no one is giving him work. He's not like a Tom Cruise, where your entire budget is going to go to paying his salary.
Yeah, and Tom Cruise is probably the last star.
So you
with
can't
star power.
you can't say it was a financial decision. It's just James Gunn being a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? I bet that his wife once said a long time ago, like something about Henry
Right.
Cavill, and he's jealous.
And again, I want to make it very clear: I'm not a Zack Snyder fanboy, right? Like, I'm not like I really need to see Justice League 2 and 3. Like, it would have been fun.
It would have been good.
I liked Zack Snyder's Justice League much better than the theatrical version, but he also made some really stupid choices, and Rebel Moon is awful. Okay.
Problem two was awful. First one was decent.
Yeah, then I watched the
I
extended
don't
version.
know.
The extended version also
Oh.
makes the first one awful.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So much nudity in it. It's so bad. Anyway, the point, like, I'm not even like I love Henry Cavill, but I'm not like a ride or die. It must be Henry Cavill or I won't go see it. No, it's just be honest. Like, I understand if you have to do a hard reboot. It makes perfect sense. Fire everyone. And that includes your Peacemaker and Amanda Waller and your Suicide Squad, and start from if you're gonna start from scratch, start fresh. If you're not going to, there was absolutely no reason you needed to fire Henry Cavill, and you're a dirty liar.
Yep.
It pisses me off so much.
Yeah, we also complained about how much lying and misdirection J.J. Abrams has done with his movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn has blown J.J. Abrams out of the water.
I literally I don't trust a single word he says,
Yeah.
and that's his fault.
Yep.
Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot is not a great actress. I think she was a fantastic Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And it works because she's kind of supposed to be fish out of water. So,
Yeah, that's a good pick, actually.
and she looks
I agree.
nice. Okay, I think she's
That helps.
I think she's a perfect Wonder Woman. I'm
Yeah,
not
she
saying
is
that.
a
I'm
Wonder
not
Woman.
saying that I
Very
liked Wonder Woman 2 because it was awful, but she's good in the role. Okay,
Hello.
we're done. We're done with the DCU. Um, Adam McKay says that Wicked Part 1
But
is one of the most radical big studio Hollywood movies ever made. Why is it radical, David, you may ask? Because if America keeps going on the track that it is, I wouldn't be surprised to see the movie banned in 3 to 5 years because Trump won the election and he doesn't want movies like Wicked the Musical to exist. Are you high?
Yeah. And also 5 years is after his term, so that's weird.
He
Well, why not say sometime in the next 4
Right.
years? Like,
Also, we're not the ones who ban things, okay?
right. Yeah.
I mean, it may be
we are
that no one
advocates
will
for-
want to see your movie because it's gay and stupid,
Right. We are
but
advocates.
we
of, hey,
wouldn't
put your
we
stuff
wouldn't
online.
prohibit you from making it.
You
That's
can
what the
talk
left
and
does.
Make your stuff, and if it's bad, we'll make fun of it and we'll poke fun at it and we'll tell you how stupid it is. But we're not going to ban it or take it down.
Oh,
Now, if you're talking
Look at
about
this.
having it being available to school children, that's a different thing.
Banned for trying too hard to toe the line. They put, who could possibly be offended by the DEI actress?
Yeah.
yeah. The left gets mad because the right likes to ban CP from schools. I don't know why the left loves to put a PORNO on schools. That is,
they love it. That's
yeah,
that's
obsessed
their.
with it. Like it's transphobic if you don't, literally.
Mhm.
Yep.
Honestly, I think they're scary. I am transphobic. I think they're terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be scared of them as like I'm so as to a spider. You know, I'm arachnophobic.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna let them near my kids for sure.
Oh yeah, no,
Because they're scary.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you should teach your children to run as far as from them as they can.
Yeah, I'm sorry if and it's no disrespect to the person because my heart goes out to the people that are dealing with those horrible mental illnesses, and it's the kind of mental illness that I would not want anywhere near my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't. I used to. I don't anymore. I went through it. Like I told you before. Like I had the same mentality before, and it's just pure mental illness. And if you don't deal with it, it's just there, like getting worse and worse and worse. So
Yep.
I
You-
don't.
you-
I don't.
You don't treat schizophrenics by telling them to listen to the voices.
Exactly.
You teach them how to ignore them.
Mm-hmm. You medicate them.
Teach them how to deal with it.
Oh, real. Yep.
So, yeah. Maybe I do want to ban Wicked too. Who cares? Okay. Have you guys caught up with the Odyssey discourse?
yeah, the Odyssey.
Okay, so fantastic. In the best news I've heard in years, Christopher Nolan is adapting the Odyssey,
Nice.
and not only that, he's going to lean into the fantastical elements and not make it like Troy, where it's this is going to be realistic and we're going to make it seem feasible. No, like it's going to be wonderful.
That could be awesome. Yeah.
And it's Christopher Nolan doing it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be practical, and we're gonna get a practical Cyclops on screen.
Ooh,
How freaking awesome would it?
that is the most awesome
prosthetic,
thing.
Forced perspective Cyclops.
Okay. Question here: where are they going to have the foghorn in the sound effects? in the soundtrack? Where in the story?
when they're on the boat.
Yeah,
Because there's
with the
where
mountain?
where it would actually be appropriate when they're at sea and there's fog, David.
Yeah,
Except it's gonna have Zendaya, yeah.
yeah, that's
I hope she dies
not the.
in the movie, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be good.
So this is jumping into the middle of the conversation. But this guy Liam is supposed to be he's like this online personality nerd guy, and he posted, "Oh my goodness, I just looked up the Odyssey, and this sounds like it's going to be really cool. It's apparently some kind of ancient story." And he's got a screenshot of he's Googled the Odyssey, and it's and you're like. And so people rightfully started clowning on him, and they weren't even like rough, you know. They're like, "Wait, you've never heard of the Odyssey? Like you had to Google the Odyssey?" Like, yeah, like everyone knows what it is. And his response was, belligerent and like, "Not everyone knows the Odyssey." And so people started legitimately clowning on him, like, "You should feel dumb for not knowing what the Odyssey is." Oh, I didn't even realize that this was a cosmonaut.
Nice.
He's a pretty cool YouTuber. I like him.
Well, yeah, the hilarious bit is he said my world doesn't evolve around America.
Right. This was his response to getting hard clowned on.
It's a Greek
My
myth.
my world doesn't revolve around America. I'm from the UK, kind of like where the Odyssey is from. And I never read it in school. Instead, we studied useful things like geography. You mean maybe like the location of ancient Troy? Or Greece, and the history of the world, not just the history of the country I live in.
Odyssey is into the history of Greece.
Yep.
Ancient Greece,
So
Troy.
he's getting clowned on, and there's been just some wonderful clapbacks. This is the best discourse ever. Does he think the Odyssey was written by Homer Simpson? Is just win this man just I thought I already liked that, but that just wins. This man wins the internet for this week. But it's led a whole bunch of people into discussions about the different translations. And Psychopath decided to recommend to if you're new to the Odyssey, if you've never heard of it, definitely don't check out any of the other translations. Definitely check out Emily Wilson's translation. It's the best one. And she put it in iambic pentameter to give it a bouncy feel. And it makes Dude Bros cry that the classic has gone woke. So that's the version you should read.
I love Twitter nowadays.
Okay.
So good.
Iambic pentameter didn't exist in ancient Greece. That was invented later. You know, I don't think Shakespeare invented it, but he perfected it.
Yeah. The thing about the Odyssey and the Iliad, they were epic poems, right?
Yes.
But
yeah, so they had a
mean
different
they
kind of
rhyme.
pentameter, right? I've heard hers is great if you're a retard. Oh man, she looks like a man for sure.
I thought she was a man, or he, or whatever.
No, it's Emily Wilson. That's a woman. Definitely a real woman. Biological and everything, I think.
This he claims.
Fortunate. But you know, the Odyssey is not supposed to be an iambic pentameter. I forget what rhythm it was written in, but it's supposed to be. Maybe one of the comments has it. Yeah, it's supposed to have a completely different rhythm, and so people have been clowning on this idiot too. And I thought it would be really fun to read some of the different translations. Mm-hmm. Probably the most popular, the one you probably read in school, is Robert Fitzgerald, which is really good. It's also hard to understand, right? He doesn't sweeten things up. It's a good translation. It's very old timey and might be hard for a lot of new readers to get into, right? Especially if English is your second language. I would not recommend that Mexa reads Robert Fitzgerald's version.
Yeah, that seems like I'm reading Nietzsche. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, it's tough. Good. You should read it in there, but maybe not, you know.
I should start easier. Yeah.
I don't love Lawrence's translation. I think it's a little. It's not a. It's more like a literal translation, and it doesn't flow very well. And especially with my like dyslexia, it's hard for me to read out loud specifically.
Is this supposed to be the same excerpt?
This is the same
book
excerpt. So,
here?
I
Huh.
Robert Fagles is my favorite. I think it's the perfect balance of making it a little bit easier to understand while also keeping some of the poetry. But the best part about Fagles is that it falls off the tongue. It is super easy to read, and it just sounds like poetry.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
understand
and then this is Emily Wilson's. But do you want to read some of them, David, or should I read them?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we'll start off with the classic, Robert Fitzgerald, right? Sing in me, muse, and through me tell the story of the man skilled in all ways of contending, the wanderer harried for years on end after he plundered the stronghold on the proud heights of Troy. He saw the towns and learned the minds of many distant men and weathered many bitter nights and days. And it's very wordy. It's good. Okay?
Yeah.
I like it. It can be hard for younger readers or especially for Mexicans learning English, right?
Yeah, I was like, if I lose track of a single word,
Yeah, you got to be honed in, paying attention, right?
Yeah.
Not bad in any way. This one just doesn't flow as well for me. Divine poesy, a goddess daughter of Zeus, sustain for me this song of the various minded man who, after he had plundered the innermost citadel of hollowed Troy, was made to stray it's really hard for me to read.
I don't even
Grievously
know what the hell is he say, like,
about the coasts of man, the sport of their customs, good or bad. Like this. It's probably a great translation. I hate the way that it flows.
it's beautiful, but I have no idea what he's saying.
Okay. Now Fagles, my personal favorite, it just comes off like butter. Sing to me of the man, muse, the man of twists and turns, driven time and again off course. Once he had plundered the hallowed heights of Troy, many cities of men he saw and learned their minds, many pains he suffered, heartsick on the open sea, fighting to save his life and bring his comrades home, but he could not save them from disaster, hard as he strove. Ooh, like that's good.
That is pretty good.
I love Fagles translations.
I understand everything, every single word.
Okay, and all of these, yeah, they mean roughly the same thing, right? But it's trying to find the rhythm, right? And that's translation sucks. Translation isn't real. It's not a real thing. If you want to read the story, you need to learn the language it was written in, because their one-to-one translation, it doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. You have to make concessions and interpretations, especially if you're dealing with a poem. You have to sacrifice meaning for flow sometimes. And I think the Robert Fagles, I like Fagles the most because I think it's the best balanced, right? He tries as hard to get the meaning as close as possible while also turning it, highlighting the use of the English language. Okay. And then there's Emily Wilson. Tell me about a complicated man. Muse, tell me how he wandered and was lost when he had wrecked the holy town of Troy, and where he went and who he met, the pain he suffered in the storms at sea, and how he worked to save his life and bring his men back home. He failed to keep them safe, poor fools.
Okay, yeah, she not only dumbed it down, but she's actually mistranslated it.
Yeah, it's
doesn't
completely
make any
changed
sense.
the meaning too.
Yeah. Like it doesn't make any sense for me. Even if it's simpler, it's dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Robert Fagles is the example of a man trying to make it easier for people to appreciate it, and Emily Wilson is the example of a dumbass trying to sound smarter than she really is.
Right.
I
So
think I
so
agree
we've
with
got
you.
so we're describing Odysseus, right? The wanderer. You
Yeah.
know, the man, torn by his
Very
desires,
confused.
right? Right. We have the various minded man,
Mhm.
right? Who
Exactly.
wants to save his men, but also wants to make it back home, right? And is trying to balance his desires.
But
And
specifically the
here
Troy part.
here we have the man of many twists and turns, driven off course, right? He has to make the hard choice rather than the choice that he wants. And now we have a complicated man. It's just so bad.
Yeah. And Charles and Mark Clark are telling the truth about the Troy thing. Like everyone, the way everyone describes Troy, you told me
Troy,
the height of Troy and
yeah,
the city of Hollow.
the nice town of Troy, not the city, the
The
ancient,
holy town
the
of Troy.
city of legend, Troy.
Yeah.
Oh, the nice little village, Troy.
The holy town of Troy. I never heard anyone describe Troy as holy.
It was a one-horse town, yeah. Anyway, yes, Emily Wilson's an idiot, and all of her translations suck. And if you, yeah, it's bad. Everyone's clowning on her.
Now I want to read the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would highly recommend Fagles. It's easier to read, and still keeps the poetry to it.
Mhm. The meaning.
Honestly, this reminds me somewhat of different translations of the Bible too.
Right.
Like, typically we read the King James version, which I agree
It can be tough. Yeah,
it can be really
It's
tough.
real
There's
tough.
a lot of old language in there that we don't really use anymore.
but when
so
you
it's
dumb
kinda hard
it down, you lose the meaning.
Right. I've seen a lot of translations that they read a verse. And I'm like, what
It
did you
means
just read?
it means
It's
something
not the
completely
same.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the way that they interpreted it. You're just like that means almost the opposite of what the original verse means. And and some of them are pretty good, but I've read some of them that read like a children's book that do not get the same meaning, and it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to read that to your children, but as
Sure.
an adult,
You're right.
when you're a child, you can do childish things. But now that you're a man, you should read the King James version of the Bible.
I'm reading the kids' version.
That was a quote from the Bible that I was repurposing in case you missed it.
Very
Yeah. So
Gen Z translation of the Bible. That's hilarious. I do have a couple different translations for fun. I have the
Pirate Bible. That's fun.
the Black what's it called? The Black Bible Chronicles, I think it's what it's called.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, it's hilarious. It translates the Bible into like black ghetto speech.
Oh,
So good, bro.
so it's like Ebonics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I picked it up in the South. It's hilarious. There's another one that's actually really good. It puts the Bible in poem. It's called the Singer and the Song.
That sounds fun.
That one's really fun too.
I want the black version though.
The black version is hilarious.
Say the N word.
graphic novel version. Yeah, there's a couple different graphic novels, and I haven't really found one I like.
My son actually, I have it right here because he left it in here. He has the Action Bible.
Yes,
Nice. It's really, really fun. He read through this whole thing in a matter of weeks. It's got amazing art. It's really cool.
Right. You just don't whip it out in church, right?
Right, exactly. You don't pull this out and say, "Okay, I'm going to read."
Read as a child
from Matthew chapter. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if they taught me the Bible like that with that kind of book, I would have not been an atheist my entire life. Let me tell you.
Have you guys been following this on Twitter? Probably not.
Nope.
Abubakar Salim. I hope I'm saying his name right. This is Father from Raised by Wolves and
nice.
And House of the Dragon. One of the Sea Snake's bastards.
Yeah.
He made a video game.
Really?
And Yes. So the controversy was
Oh, so
he made Zao, and it technically consulted on by Sweet Baby Inc. But it's actually good, from what I've heard. And so it got looped in with like the let's boycott all these games.
Yeah.
And he started talking with people online and just being honest about it.
Yeah.
And they weren't super involved. Actually, he used to be an employee of Sweet Baby Inc. and he quit and started his own thing. And so it has Sweet Baby Inc. involvement, but it's a little bit different from the rest of these. And then people started playing the game and they're like, this game's not woke. It's just good.
yeah,
but
it's very good.
but what's been awesome about it is he's talking to people online. He's like, hey, like, okay, what's the problem with the game? What and he's just been one of the most like honest and like forthcoming and open to discussion. He's just an awesome guy. And it makes me want to play the game. He's doing like I think it's a sequel with a different character. He's working on a second game right now, and he's listening to all of the feedback.
Yeah, I like what he says there. He says he's been listening to some of the feedback and saying, not just the comments saying, "Oh, this sucked, this was awful."
No. He's saying what's great about it is it isn't just people saying it sucked. They're giving me reasons, and I'm learning how to make better games.
That's awesome.
I just really like him. He's a really cool guy. And I didn't know that he made a video game until recently.
Oh, no.
And yeah.
Sounds like our next stream.
I had it.
It
was on Game Pass, but I don't find it. I think they took it out of Game Pass.
Yeah, I watched the video. It looks pretty fun. I just
I
barely have time for one video game in my life.
No, yeah. So it's like an Assassin's Creed, like Prince of Persia type of game. It's really good.
Ooh, I like.
But it's not that time engaging. It's more the type of game that you can play for a few minutes and pause oftenly when you have to like do chores or things like that. I don't know. It's a good kind of game. But I think I lost it. It was before on the Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't have it. But yeah, I mean, what a cool guy and a fantastic actor. I want to see this guy in everything because he's phenomenal. And I just want Raised by Wolves back, baby. I want it so much. But like, yeah, a lot of people interact with like Master of the TDS has been talking with him, a whole bunch of people, and he responds to them and he's a really genuine guy.
No.
So it's really nice to see people be this self-aware and to not attack the fans, but to actually try and understand them. What an A+ guy. And even if Zhao is a little bit woke, I think I might give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Metroidvania.
Yeah,
and this looks really good.
It's good. It's good.
Tales of Kenizara Zhao.
Yeah, I saw. He's working on a second game. I think it's a sequel. I think it's another tale from the same place, but with a different character. It's a fictional country set in Africa.
What is it called? Tales of what?
Tales of the name of the city.
Tales of
too small.
Zinzira or Kenzira. Tales of Kenzira Zhao.
Yeah. And so, like, it did not perform well because everyone was boycotting it. But he's still, like, pushing forward and being this cool guy.
Yeah, I cannot find it anywhere.
So you had to... Oh, I got a crochet ad before my stream. Nice. Tales of Zanera is out. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot because I like this guy.
Yeah, just because of what he said, I'm gonna check it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gameplay looks really fun.
See, like you can.
I'm liking this.
Yeah. It's all about attitude, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not difficult to be cool on the internet and not be, not just completely condemn half of the country just because you disagree with them politically.
Mm-hmm.
Fat lesbos and suitcases. Merry Christmas. It's almost time to talk about it. We're almost done with the news, and then we have to actually talk about Doctor Who. But first, we got to clown on Amazon for a bit, because we were just talking about this last week, David, and then you sent me this that there was a TV version of It's a Wonderful Life that cuts out the best part of the movie.
Yep.
And then Amazon started streaming the same version where they cut out the part where he has to reflect on his life.
Yeah, they cut out the whole part
the whole segment. The whole segment where he doesn't exist. They just skip to people showing up at his house and giving him money.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, Amazon is gay.
Uh-huh.
They're so stupid.
You can watch the other version.
I accidentally watched the abridged version, and it shouldn't exist. Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Brace yourself. Someone said whoever made this choice should be fired, and it's just funny that we were just talking about it,
right?
About how stupid it was that they had a TV edit,
and
then Amazon went and did that stupid thing.
Now, I don't
Mark,
remember.
You're so wrong. You're so wrong.
Mark, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Amazon is a constant reminder to own physical media. Yep.
Yeah.
But in more Amazon stupidity, it looks like they paid Screen Rant to run a couple of puff pieces for them, because it looks like The Wheel of Time Season 3 will fix a frustrating complaint about the show. What's the complaint? That it sucks? Oh, that it's not book accurate. Season 3 could be more faithful to the books. And it's provided us with this wonderful still that's not faithful to the books because Matt isn't there. And this is them entering Ruidion.
Matt has a very important part of this scene in the book, and it's one of the best.
And for some reason, Moraine is wearing Matt's hat.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, it's I don't even know where they're getting this from. Is it because they're going to Ruidion? Is that the only reason that it could be more faithful?
Possibly, yeah.
The majority of big developments from the trailer connect back to book events. No, they don't. There's not a single thing from the trailer that connected to anything from the book.
Yeah. Although I do like this still. That the city of Ruidion looks good.
Except there's supposed to be a giant tree in the middle of it. It's supposed to be like bigger than... Yes.
Good point.
Yeah. So, screw Amazon. They suck. The entire trailer was dedicated to showing Moraine and Lanfear scissoring. That's not book accurate.
Yeah.
So, screw Amazon. They suck. Well, it will still struggle to appease diehard fans yet, or any fans. Anyone. So yeah. But this one isn't nearly as bad as this one. I'm not putting that on screen. This one makes me even more mad. Okay. Wheel of Time Season 3's release date is avoiding a mistake that hurt Amazon's other big fantasy show.
Is that releasing it at the same time as House of the Dragon?
Yes. Yes, David.
That's really what their excuse is?
Okay. So the big mistake that they made with Rings of Power is that 2 years in a row they went up against House of the Dragon, and that's the only reason why it wasn't successful, David.
Yeah, of course.
And Season 3 is fixing that mistake by dropping the entire show in March. It's a good thing, David. Dropping the show in March instead of saving it for the end of the year is a good thing. It's not a sign that they're canceling the show. It's a good thing. Do you know what this completely ignores, David? This completely ignores.
At once?
I don't know. Probably. They haven't announced it yet. Do you know how many things they have to completely ignore for this to make any sense, David? It's about 100 different things. This completely ignores the fact that Wheel of Time Season 1 and 2 also weren't up against House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Right.
And it's also ignoring the fact that Rings of Power Season 2 waited to announce their release date until after Warner Brothers announced House of the Dragon, so that they wouldn't air at the same time. They just aired the next week after the show was over.
It's also ignoring that there have been plenty of other times when we have been watching two shows simultaneously.
No,
And-
David, that's too hard. Because you see, the Tolkien superfans couldn't even be bothered to watch season 1 because they were too busy watching House of the Dragon.
Yep. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Look, it doesn't over... Okay, neither did the first 2 seasons. It didn't help.
Yeah.
The March release date. But it also ignores, even if they didn't do this and dropped it at the end of the year, it still wouldn't be competing with anything. In fact, you could argue that dropping it in March brings its release date a lot closer to what, David? A Game of Thrones TV show, which is supposed to be released early this year.
Really?
Yes, the
other prequel.
the Night of Seven Kingdoms. Okay, that one releases in June, but it's close. There will be there will be like 5 weeks between Wheel of Time Season 3 and the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's almost the same gap that you had between Seasons 2 of both House of the Dragon and Rings of Power. So
yeah.
So
your point
even
is
if
moot
this
anyway.
were true, it wouldn't be true.
Yeah.
But there's nothing at the end of the year.
So
What
far.
other fantasy show is releasing in October, November, December, September?
Yeah, nothing I know of.
Anyway, Amazon's retarded. Confirmed.
That's a bad take.
All right. I think I've had enough time to process the Doctor Who episode, David.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I need to draw because
Yeah.
I need to cook my dinner. I haven't had dinner and
Okay.
get it.
Let me blow your mind before you go, though. This episode explains the Star of Bethlehem.
Yeah.
Why?
Because a raging fat feminist was so egotistical that she decided to eat a star, and she became the Star of Bethlehem and traveled back in time, and is better than Jesus.
Save Jesus, right? Basically.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's not a joke. That actually happened.
Leave it to a fat lesbian feminist to do a worse job than a man.
Yeah.
Fudge Doctor Who. Mark Clark, thanks for the
said it.
Watch Dr.
199.
Pooh, and you would have had a pun there.
Yeah.
All right, so enjoy the Pooh jokes and
Sorry, did you say "Let's go, Doctor Who"? Is that what you said?
Well, it was good having
All
you
right.
with us,
Yeah.
Nexa.
Peace out, man.
We'll talk
Well,
about the crazy news of the woke world.
I love it. I love talking about the woke world is dying as I see, is like a dying star.
Yeah, we are. We're not seeing much from Paramount, but we are seeing a turnaround from most people. So,
Oh, and how many days are we left from before Trump gets inaugurated?
the 20th.
Oh, nice. Like,
Yeah.
So
What
we've
is
got
like-
we've got 3 more shows before Trump, right?
nice. All right.
Is it the
All right.
20th? It's the 20th, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
20th.
But what happens the 6th, by the way? I don't know. I don't want to say the name of that date, but what happens the 6th?
The sixth last
That was
4 years ago.
that was
when
inauguration day
the
4 years
rally.
ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the
all right.
worst the worst attack on democracy of all time.
Yeah, I cannot even say it out loud without getting, demonetized or whatever.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Star of
Yeah.
Bethlehem is a fat feminist lesbian.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Yes, yeah.
All right. See you
Um,
next time.
This episode
Yeah,
made
20th
this-
is the inauguration day this
this
year.
episode made absolutely no sense.
And no, none whatsoever.
Also, it was boring. It was so boring. Nothing happened. The doctor just lets a whole bunch of people die. Doesn't save anyone.
yeah.
Cries a bunch, and every single character was insufferable.
Yeah.
Except I kind of liked the innkeeper, whatever her
first-
name was. She was fun.
Yeah, that was good. I liked the relationship with her and the doctor. And
I
think
liked
the-
her.
the
I didn't
first
like
guy-
the doctor. I didn't like the relationship because
sure,
it involved the doctor, but I liked her.
Yeah, him hanging out with her or whatever. That was fine or whatever.
All these other side characters were like, oh, what's the point of this? And then he ties them together at the end with a literal rope.
Yeah.
And then the one lady, her only line in the entire episode is, "Oh no, I'm a lesbian. I'm not straight."
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
like, why are
actually,
you important to this story? A love letter?
No,
Well, he's too good for you. No, it's a woman. I'm gay, by the way.
Yep.
Um,
The only thing important to her was she was on a train, which was the train was more important than she was.
yeah. The doctor steals survival. The group in the Antarctica or Everest, wherever they are, they're literally talking about how they need the rope to like scale a mountain or they're going to die. And he shows up and takes their rope.
Yeah.
And they say, "Why are you taking our stuff? We're going to die." And it's because it was there, because he's making fun of white people, because that's why they discovered things. That's why they went on voyages, because it was there. And so it's okay to steal from them because it's there as well.
I didn't catch that. But
You
yeah,
didn't catch that because
ridiculous.
it was there,
No, I got the line. I didn't catch the connection.
that he was he was saying white people are
Manifest
pieces of
destiny.
garbage.
Yeah.
And then he grins and winks at the camera when he says it, dude.
Yeah.
It's egregious. The first line from her name is Joy. The first line from her is, she's just seen a lizard man,
Mm-hmm.
and her first line is to get mad at the guy trying to protect her from the lizard man and say that he's mansplaining.
Yeah.
That's her first line of dialogue. Also, the innkeeper, I guess the hotel owner, it's not an inn. She's got a hotel. The hotel owner walks in and her tenant is screaming that there's a bunch of strangers in my room. And her reaction is, "Oh, that never happens," and leaves.
Yeah. That's weird.
Rather than calling the police.
Yeah.
She never had, her character was so confusing.
Yeah.
There were
you're right.
multiple times where we were like, okay, you're watching this guy do Harry Potter magic and you're not even going to question it? Like, it's okay if you're nonchalant about it, but like, ask questions, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that was the one thing that I thought was funny in the episode was those jokes about being bigger on the inside, right?
That was good.
He makes jokes twice. He says
The mug is bigger on the
mug-
inside
and
and
mug's
the
bigger than the microwave. It's like,
microwave.
okay, that was a funny joke, but you also did it twice in the same episode for some reason.
You know what could have been
And then the other part was he was fixing up things and making them more Time Lord TARDIS-y. And the one that didn't make sense is he made her car
He painted it blue.
take her. He painted it blue, but also it doesn't take her where she wants to go. But it takes her where she needs to go. Remember that line?
Because that's what the TARDIS does.
And it's like that doesn't make any sense for a car. They just crammed that in there because
it's funny.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Right. My favorite part about the episode, though, the best gag from the entire episode is that he orders room service. I can't tell you how sick I am from hearing the line ham and cheese toasty and a pumpkin latte, because he had to say it 20 times. But he orders a ham and cheese toasty. First off, what a horrible flavor combination. A pumpkin latte and a ham and cheese sandwich. I'm sorry, but you have no palate. It's way worse than fish fingers and custard. Okay. But he orders room service and it's immediately delivered, and he's surprised because, get this, David, the kitchen is 30 minutes in the future. So they start making your order before you order it. Mm-hmm. Except, David, think about that for 2 seconds. If they're in the future, how are they making your order before you order it? If the kitchen is in the future, when you order it, it's going to get to you an hour late.
Yeah.
The kitchen needs to be 30 minutes in the past.
Yeah.
So they can start making your food before you order it.
Yeah.
They got the most simple thing wrong. It's a show
and that's
about time travel.
Yep.
And they got time travel wrong.
It's not the only time they got it wrong in this episode. They fundamentally misunderstand time travel. It's and cause and effect within time, right? Another example is the code. The Doctor gives himself the code from the future, and then when he gets to the future and becomes that future version of himself, he gives himself the code. And like, well, how did you know the code? Well, I didn't. I just made it up. The code only existed because I already knew it. And like,
right.
That's not how time works. You can't just make up something and say, oh, that's what it was because I knew it in the future.
And there also wasn't a reason that he needed to wait for a year because he learned it in that second.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the old new doctor had come in and put in the code manually himself,
right,
because of something that he learned in the past, then it would have made sense. And then he has to wait a full year. But he says it to him verbally. He knows what the code is. There's no reason for him to wait a year.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense.
Other than to make a friend, which he doesn't even come back and say goodbye to in person. He sends a hotel consigliere to say, hey, I offered you a job. And that wasn't her complaint. Her complaint was, you're not going to come back. You're never going to see me again, aren't you? Yeah. And he said, no, I'll make sure. And so he lied to her face.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this whole thing was an absolute mess. Even from the beginning, it's like, okay, there's this briefcase that is killing people as soon as they give the briefcase to somebody else with higher authority.
Right. All they needed, David, was someone who had access to the doors. And they go through 6 different people, and for some reason, they finally get to the hotel manager who has access to all of the doors. Yeah. And the first door that he goes through takes him to 2025 or 2024.
Yeah.
Instead of
where they need to go
directly to the dinosaur portal where they needed it to go.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, he sees the Doctor and says, oh, I want to give it to you instead, even though I already have the only person that I would need to get the briefcase to where it needs to go.
Yep.
And so instead, only by stupidity does the fat lesbian feminist get the briefcase.
Yeah.
And also, there's no reason for it to be downloading the consciousness of these people. Like anytime that's been done before in Doctor Who episodes, and there's been a reason for it. And in this, it's just I don't know, like we wanted you to talk to this character because we wanted him to come back and not let you down.
Yeah.
But why?
and it makes no sense. It doesn't explain why he still had his.
You know what else it doesn't
own,
explain? Why the Valte Corporation, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't they show up at the end to collect their weapon?
Yeah, exactly.
They just let it go.
They just left it.
But they're nothing. Don't think about it. They literally say, "Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. They're nothing."
That's literally what they said several times in this episode. It's like, oh yeah, don't worry about how I got the code. It doesn't matter. It was always there. I just made it up because I knew it already, because I told myself it. And oh, don't worry about this corporation. They don't mean anything. And I'm pretty sure that corporation is the same corporation that did the mine thing.
Yes.
From the previous episode.
Because Stephen Moffat wrote both those episodes.
Yep.
He wrote this episode too, and I thought Russell T. Davis had gone off the deep end. Never meet your heroes, man.
Yeah.
Stephen Moffat wrote this episode, and it's not his worst episode. It's the worst episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, so at the very beginning, though, it doesn't. I don't know exactly what happened, because he got the other hotel guy to be in on him, to help him, whatever, and he was supposed to watch the guy with the briefcase, and then all of a sudden it cuts away from something else, and the guy's just standing around doing nothing, and the guy with the briefcase is already in a different room, and then he ends up finding, like, just running into the other guy with the briefcase, and then he gets the briefcase. I'm like, dude,
No, he
you're
followed him.
watching.
Yeah, he followed him there.
It didn't show that.
Yeah, I did.
It was really weird, man.
I'm not sure what
know.
you're talking about.
He was just like standing in the hall. Presumably, he was like looking down.
No, he talked. The guy with the briefcase talked to the hotel manager and said, "Hey, when the doors open," they said, "Oh, you need to wait." And so he went to the bar to go get a drink, and the other guy followed him. That part didn't make sense.
He was out in the lobby still, like on the balcony, looking down at the reception area where the guy with the briefcase used to be. But then all of a sudden, he was in the door.
Oh, you're saying the doctor saw him standing there, but okay,
no.
What are you talking about?
The guy, the first guy that the doctor got to be on his side,
the black guy.
Said, hey, watch the guy with the briefcase.
Yeah, they weren't looking down. They were in the same level, David. They were right next to each other.
No, it cuts later. He's up on the balcony.
And it shows him like stalking him?
And it shows him looking down like over the balcony where presumably the guy with the briefcase is. But then all of a sudden he's behind him in the bar. He's behind the door in the bar area with this other guy, and he doesn't see the briefcase gets passed to this other dude, and then the briefcase comes out and get passed to the dude that was supposed to be watching it in the first place. I'm like, what's happening? It was really weird and disconnected.
Okay, no, the original guy talks to the manager. The manager sends him to the bar. So the first guy goes to the bar.
He's not at the bar. He's just standing outside the door.
I'm watching it right now. Okay, the first guy, he's in a black suit. He talks to the lizard man, to the lizard man manager. The manager sends black suit guy to the bar, and then the original guy that the doctor recruited follows him into the bar, and he gets the suitcase.
I thought he was the third person to get the suitcase.
Oh, he is. Okay,
right.
So no. Okay, so black suit guy goes to the bar and gives the suitcase to the bartender. The bartender walks outside and talks to the doctor's friend, brings him back into the bar, and gives him the suitcase.
Right. So my question is, why the heck isn't the doctor's friend guy there in the bar watching the guy with the suitcase and watch that first exchange?
Okay, I understand.
Stood outside the door randomly, waited for the suitcase thing to happen.
Okay, yes,
and then
I get
came
it.
back out and got the
because he's
following the guy.
Because he's an idiot. Right.
Exactly. It was really weird.
Got it.
And no explanation.
Okay, I understand your complaint now. I get it.
But yeah, anyway, then the Silurian has the briefcase.
And that was right after he said, "I won't let you down. No, I'm on this. Don't worry. I'll do the one thing you asked me to do is follow this guy." And then he doesn't follow him.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes.
It was really weird. So then there was that weird, gross, like super gross gay joke with the Silurian and showing up, and you're like, "Oh, is this what is this? Is this a weird gay thing?" And then they say the star seed will rise, or the flesh will rise, and the star seed will bloom, and they're like, they make some Joy makes some gay joke because like, "Oh, that's don't be gross, like get a room." It's like, oh gross.
It's because his penis will rise.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
His flesh penis.
Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah, this episode was very gross.
Also, I didn't like the meta joke with him buying TARDIS toys online. It's like,
yeah, it was dumb.
It was really stupid.
It was really dumb.
I just found them online. They're being sold for some reason. Wink, wink. Go buy yours on Amazon.
I like how the when the lizard manager is dying, the doctor has to mount him while he's dying to get him. And you're like, why are you? He's literally straddling him.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. And then he just dies. And rather than following Joy, who's like leaving the room with a bomb, he cares about the guy who's dying, even though he can't do anything about it.
Yeah. It's pretty dumb. It also didn't explain why he had to be a jerk to Joy to get her to be right. It's because she needed to get angry. For some reason, yeah.
Because that made her independent. Because everyone knows when you're angry, it makes you independent, which is that tracks for feminism and stuff.
That's true. But yeah, it also didn't explain since he got. It doesn't matter how it released, but you got released from the briefcase, and Joy didn't die immediately. So it didn't explain anything about the briefcase, like how that works.
Right. It also didn't explain why Joy ate the star.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the most ridiculous part. Like, oh, I'll just eat this.
It was just completely not. Also, the doctor's a moron in this episode. There were so many times where like, oh, it'll be funny if he won't notice a giant dinosaur stomping towards him, because the reveal is going to be that they had to send it 65 million years into the past, and he was too busy explaining that he didn't hear the giant dinosaur shaking the earth, stomping up to you. Haha, so funny. And there were multiple times where he did something legitimately stupid because it was for laughs. And you're like, this is not Doctor Who. I'm sorry, this is retarded.
Yep. And then the other thing at the very end that made absolutely no sense is apparently Joy filmed a message for presumably her mom in the hospital.
No, that was in the past. That was a flashback. That was a year ago. That was during the pandemic when she had to watch her mother die via Zoom because of the pandemic.
Gotcha.
And they're saying, oh, it was such a bad thing. I couldn't even visit my mom in the hospital. I had to watch her die over a Zoom call because of those darned COVID rules.
Gee.
David, who was making those COVID rules? Was it people like Russell T. Davis and Stephen Moffat? Or was it people like us? Who was the one saying you're not allowed to visit your grandparents in the hospital, David?
It was the science.
It was the science. Yeah. How on that part made me sick.
Yeah.
When they had the audacity to pretend like they weren't all for that crap.
Yeah.
Oh no, trust us, it was bad the whole time. Screw you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a flashback to the past. So it's saying since she'd been a star since Jesus' birth, she was also present when it was a flashback to when her grandma died in the hospital. She was there with her. She was there as a star, and she sucked her soul.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing that bothers me fundamentally about this episode is it's pro ending your life to become a part of the stars, right? It's like
a minor thing that really, really bothered me was the rope and grappling hook. When he's got a TARDIS that he could use to pull the door off, but for some reason he needed to go back to the train to pull the door off, so that obviously so that the female character could tell the audience that she's a lesbian.
Yep.
But he gets on top of the train and he's holding this rope and grappling hook and he swings it. I kid you not, 13 times.
Yeah.
And he keeps swinging it. And you're like, why are you still swinging it? And then he ends up throwing it down.
Yeah.
So it grabs the tracks.
Dropped it.
There was literally no reason for you to swing it once.
Yeah.
You just needed to toss it behind you. But it was so stupid. Everything about this episode was just dumb.
Yeah. It made absolutely no sense on multiple levels.
I can't believe that this came from Stephen Moffat. Like, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And the only explanation I can think of is that TDS literally physically rots your brain and makes you a stupider person. Because up until now, he'd written the smartest episodes ever. I liked most of Russell T. Davis's episodes too.
Yeah.
But this is absolute garbage. And the common denominator is wokeness.
Yep.
That's the only thing that changed between now and then was TDS.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
In the defense, they did allow you to go to the strip club. You were allowed, if you were, the COVID czar in New York, you were allowed to go to sex parties the whole time in hotels.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, it was absolute garbage. I don't think I have anything more to say about it, but
Yep.
like I said, the only thing that was funny was the bigger on the inside joke with the
mug
and the microwave.
It was funny the first time. It wasn't funny the second time. Yeah.
Right. Because they did it the first time.
Right.
You know.
And then it thought it was so clever with the whole Bethlehem thing. Oh my goodness! Of course, you are joy. You're joy because you bring joy to the world and not Jesus. It's the star that just go.
Yeah.
Screw yourself. Like it just is just. This is. It's just one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. It's so bad. It looks like the YouTube poll agrees with me. It's the worst episode of all time. Doctor Who. Garbage filth. Sonic 3. It's great. It's a good kids movie.
Nice.
How
does it compare to the other two?
I think it's probably the best one. Because it has the least human characters in it.
Nice.
It's more about the action, and they took out the sister, the fat sister, is only in it. Well, she's technically not in it at all, but she has a performance in it that only lasts like 2 minutes, and then she's gone, and it's wonderful. Yeah. I mean, I've never loved any of the movies, right? They're kids' movies, and they're great kids' movies, and they're fine. There are some smart jokes and some funny parts that adults might like. If you're dumber than me, you might enjoy it more. But it was perfectly enjoyable to sit through for my children. Right,
Nice.
Like it's not one of those kids' movies where you just want to kill yourself the whole time, and there pretty legitimately some fun stuff in there. As like an adult, it's like a 5 out of 10. Like I haven't loved any of the Sonic movies that much. They're perfectly acceptable, and I love that my kid loves them. They're fine.
Yeah.
So it's probably the best one of the three.
Nice.
I would rather watch the Lego Movie.
Oh, that's hard to beat the Lego Movie. The Lego Movie made a high bar for enjoyable kids movies
but also a good adult movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I voted that it was the worst, but it's a safe bet. Yeah. It's a safe bet. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about Jim Carrey is gave a wonderful performance. And what's Sonic's name? I can only think of
Voice actor?
I can only think of his characters' names in Parks and Rec and all the other shows he's been in. Yeah, he's great in it.
Roger Craig Smith?
No, that's the video game.
That's the video game. I was Googling it and it
Mousy
took out
guy.
Sonic movie.
But to bring it full circle back to Creature Commandos,
Ben Schwartz.
is one of the worst part about Creature Commandos is Amanda Waller's delivery as a voice actress is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And because acting and voice acting are two different beasts, and some people can do both, but not everybody can do both. Just because you're an actor does not make you a good voice actor, and there are some really bad performances in Creature Commandos. And I love Keanu Reeves. I did not enjoy him as Shadow.
Really?
I think his voice is a good match for the character who's supposed to be like broody and emotionless. But because that's what Keanu Reeves is, and I love him, he's not a great voice actor. I feel like his tone of voice was good for the character, but the performance wasn't very good. Like you could literally just hear him standing in a sound booth, just reading the lines. Which like maybe that works for it just didn't. That was the weakest part of the movie.
Really?
Was yeah.
That's unfortunate.
He was just there, which I mean that's what he is in everything though.
Yeah.
It just it wasn't a great match. Wasn't a great performance. That's the thing. I think it was a good match, but a bad performance.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Is Keanu Reeves is always going to give that kind of performance, and that's why I love him. So yeah. I would not have cast him as Shadow. Silo is good.
Yeah, it was good. Some good things happened.
Yeah, we have like 3 episodes left, right?
Let's see. Yes.
Yeah. So we have 10 episodes.
This was episode 7.
It feels really good. They're still really stretching out a very specific plot line that was supposed to happen in the first episode of this season.
Well, I thought it was the draining of the other silo because you mentioned that was one of the first things she tried to do is drain the
no, there's something that happens day 1 after Juliet leaves. Something happens, and they're really stretching it out.
So something happens in the original silo.
Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's been good, and I see what they're doing. I get it, and it's good. I think it might actually overall be an improvement. And I said last week that they fixed all the problems, and so I'm pretty sure that they're going to be able. I see what they're doing with my 2 favorite parts of the book. Yeah. I was worried that they weren't going to exist. Now I'm 90% sure they're going to get my second favorite part of the books in, and it's going to be different, but better, actually. They still could do the first part, but the problem is there's only 3 episodes left, and I don't know if they have time to do the best part of the book. Like they could. I'm afraid that they're going to gloss over it, or maybe give it to a different character, and it's not going to be as powerful. But they still have
supposed to have a baby on the way or something?
No, I don't want to spoil it. It's so good.
Okay. You can spoil it after.
It almost like it would have to, because the thing is, it has to happen, and then there needs to be time after it happens for recovery from that thing happening. And I don't know if they can do it in 3 episodes. I'm worried. But it's been so satisfying. I think, I mean, I'll still enjoy, I'm enjoying the show. I still enjoy it. And I don't hate the changes. But I really want them to do the thing that I thought they'd fixed it last time, and I thought we're gonna get it. Now we're gonna get it this episode. It makes sense though. Like I understand all the changes, but I'm like, please don't take that out. Please don't do it.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's like the entire point of the book too. It's like it's the crux. Everything hinges on that one event that brings that's the morality of the whole story. That's the moral center of the story. Is something happens and there's consequences, and you have to deal with the.
I'm really intrigued about what you're talking about now. If they don't,
They could still do it, but I think it has to happen in episode 8.
Okay.
Or no, wait. Okay, no, because they can't do that other. If they do that other stuff before, then it won't happen. So they have to do it in episode 8 and give the next 2 episodes the other stuff. But then it's also like one of the most high octane moment. No, there's more. So it wouldn't spoil the finale because there's still, because the second best moment could happen, and it's.
Well, I'm super intrigued. You'll have to tell me.
I will after it's over. I'll tell you
when.
if it happens.
Yeah, when they happen, or if they don't happen by the end, you'll have to tell me what they are.
Mm-hmm. If it doesn't happen this season, it's not happening.
Yeah. So there are a couple things in this episode. I liked a lot of stuff they were doing
because they only have 2 more seasons.
They're doing.
They renewed it for 3 and 4, and I think that's all they have.
Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Which makes sense. There's only 3 books.
How many books are there? There's 3 books?
3 books.
And is it complete series?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, but there were a couple things in this episode that I thought were a little bit weird. One of them was the rocket thing that they sent up to disperse all the notes. That was really cool. It was a good visual, but it didn't explain why they've never tried to do something like that before, or why they don't use it again. And it was also counting on IT having their own lights on at the moment, which they had no idea.
Well, all the lights are always on. So they knew from that earlier episode that IT has a different supply, right?
Sure, but I mean, they've turned the power off before, and granted, last time it was a planned outage.
Yeah, but everyone knew it was going to happen. So since they didn't know it was going to turn on, they turned off all the lights, but IT still had power. So
right, but they didn't know exactly how that would work or play out.
Yeah, but they did. Yeah, but they knew that people would see, hey, we're turning off the power, but for some reason IT still has power. Like
maybe, but how did they know that IT first off, if IT still had power, wouldn't they want to hide that from the rest of the silo and not have those lights?
IT didn't know that the lights were getting shut off.
I know. But in such a case that the lights do get shut off for whatever reason, whether accidental or on purpose, wouldn't you design your grid so that the lights in IT are, behind closed doors? You don't see them. It's just kind of weird that they knew exactly what was going to happen.
Sure.
It was fine. It was a good moment. I liked it.
Yeah, that's it's new.
But
it's added.
It wasn't quite explained how they knew that would be the reveal that it was.
Right.
And then also later in the episode they're talking about there's no way to get a message to the top, and so she has to plug in her camera to get a message to the top. I'm like, you literally just built a little firework display bomb thing.
Yeah.
That got a message to the top, and then you're saying, there's no way to get a message to the top. It was kind of weird. And then the other thing was the cipher. I like everything that's happening with the cipher, him learning about different ciphers. Like, it's a book cipher. It's referencing some book and the pages or whatever. And then he said, no, it's not going to be any
book that's in
any book that's
tablet that he has.
That's a relic book or whatever. It's going to be something that everybody had access to, but I don't know what it was. And then he pulls out some book that is away in his drawer, like, oh yeah, this is the book. But
Might be. Yeah, I don't know.
it was weird because
that's a little bit weird because that's some world building that they added in the TV show. Like the relics being forbidden is not a thing. Like they all had access to books they knew about the past. They just didn't have access to any like current technology. You know,
interesting.
They weren't allowed to develop any new stuff.
So that's different. But it was weird though because he's like, oh, it would be a book that everybody has access to. But then he pulls out this one
book that no one has. Yeah,
like, this is the one copy, and this is the book. I'm like, that just counteracts what you just said. I was expecting it to be something like
I thought it was going to be Romeo and Juliet,
Romeo and Juliet, something that they teach in school that they've referenced before.
I did like a few
Romeo
episodes.
and Juliet would be a good callback because they specifically talked about.
Well, it wouldn't work though either way because a few episodes back, I really liked it. Where Juliet is talking to Solo.
Right. And he said, your version they died? That doesn't happen.
She's like, wait, Romeo and Juliet don't die at the end of the play.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they do. Because he's read the real version and they've read,
right.
They've seen the propaganda plays or whatever.
Yeah. But, yeah. So those are the only two things I thought were weird. But in execution, I loved everything they were doing with it.
There are definitely a few plot holes in the show where you're like, if you think about it for too long, you're like, wait, that doesn't make 100% sense. It's not, but I'm willing to overlook them because the show's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not the world building could be a little bit more solid, for sure. I definitely agree. There are a few things that aren't. It's not a perfect TV show. I think it's a perfect adaptation. I think it's early. Hopefully, might drop down to a 9 or an 8. We shall see. But right now, it's like this is how you adapt a book.
Yeah.
The actual quality of the TV show, I think it's like an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
I'm really enjoying it. Could be better. Could be a whole lot worse. So
yeah, it's interesting. I'm interested to see where they go from it. Obviously, they're building up that there is some sort of silo connections at the bottom level.
Yeah,
through the tunnel or whatever. And I'm assuming that's how Juliet's going to get back over there, is to swim through the tunnel, or once she pumps it all out.
You would think so, yeah.
Through there, but yeah, I really like it. I think it's the best thing on Apple TV. Pretty good. I really like Severance, but it's it's different. I'm really excited for Severance, but I think I like Silo more than Severance.
3 weeks till Severance season 2, baby. I think Severance is better. But again, it's also one of those shows like it completely depends. Smaller. It completely depends on how they end Severance. Like are there actual answers? If is the mystery box empty, then Severance sucks, Yeah. But if there are answers, oh boy, Severance is so freaking good,
Severance is really good, but it's a lot smaller in scope too.
There are a couple shows like that, like From right now is a lot of people are recommending it, and they're calling it a spiritual successor to Lost because it's very much like Lost, where you're like, this is a really, really fun mystery box, but it better have something in the box. And it kind of feels like, from what I've heard, that they're stretching it out, and people are getting a little bit tired of it.
Yeah,
I think season 3 just dropped. It looks really interesting. I want to watch it, but I am busy with other things right now.
Yep.
Oh, Silas pretty dang good. I'm pretty dang sick, and I want to sleep. I slept for most of the day. Yeah, we have Silo for the next 3 weeks, and then for the last episode of Silo, we'll get Severance and maybe Wolfman. I think Wolfman got pushed back, so we don't even get that. And then, we got Severance, and then Invincible, which will be fun, and Daredevils, and then Wheel of Time.
Man.
Wheel of Time. I'm not ready. I'm so not ready for Wheel of Time season 3. It's gonna be so garbage. And then we have nothing after the Wheel of Time until Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So we'll need another TV show then.
In early May to
Maybe
June.
I could be convinced to watch.
Yeah, like all of May is empty.
If we don't get any new, because they announce shows. There's a whole bunch of shows we're supposed to get soon that we just don't know about yet, like the Avatar, the Last Airbender, Stranger Things season 5, and/or season 2, the Terminalist sometime, and the Gentleman season 2.
Terminalist is a weird one because it wrapped things up pretty good.
There's a bunch of books, David.
But,
There's a whole bunch of books. Yeah. Like each season is it's kind of like Reacher, where like each season it's its own thing.
Gotcha.
So, the Rehearsal season 2. We're getting that soon.
I hope that's good.
I can't wait, dude.
Season 1 was really good, but
I need more Nathan Fielder in my life.
Just turned into that one experiment that was drawn
right
out.
because of
Come
COVID.
on, I want more stuff. I
right.
want different things.
So imagine what he could do with the Rehearsal without COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. Except that one thing was real good. It did just become one thing, but it was really good one thing.
The first like 3 episodes when it was a bunch of different things was fantastic.
Hilarious.
So yeah, I want more variety.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, God of War was supposed to be this year, but we're not getting that in 2025.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They just fired Rafe Judkins. So,
yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, if there's nothing announced, I don't know, maybe
I heard
maybe
we have movies on here too. I heard Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse got pushed back too. I don't know if that'll be next year.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about that one.
The second one was so bad. It was so boring.
I was like, there's probably a show we could, if there's nothing going on, we can pick a show. I don't know, maybe like Foundation. I don't know what's Foundation. It's just, but maybe we need to watch it to criticize it. I don't know.
Or maybe we can just dive into old Doctor Who and start.
We could do old Doctor Who. That could be fun.
My kids have been asking for the show, and a couple of weeks ago we watched Blink and a couple other random episodes, and they're like, "Let's watch that Angel show again."
Yeah, I watched.
Really liked it.
I started watching it maybe like 2 years ago, just casually. Every once in a while, I'd watch an episode, and then Elliot started watching with me when I hit Matt Smith. So he watched all of Matt Smith with me, and we started watching Peter Capaldi, and then we stopped watching it. We still need to go and finish all the Peter Capaldi episodes. But what stopped us? I got really busy with YouTube, but also he started watching Malcolm in the Middle. That's what it was. So he likes that show.
Nice.
He's almost done. That was about maybe a year and a half ago. We switched from Doctor Who. When we had free time, that Malcolm in the Middle became the show that he watched, and he's almost done with it now.
When is Malcolm in the Middle releasing? Do they just announce it?
That's probably not for another year. Yeah,
2026 maybe.
Probably
at the earliest.
Yes, we will be watching that.
Yeah.
Superman Legacy drops in July, so that's half of a year. Same with the Night of the Seven Kingdoms is in June. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I am not ready for the Wheel of Time. I need to get back into editing videos again. I've been sick.
Yeah, me too.
I've been sick, and I've been using it as an excuse.
Every week, I've got like 3 or 4 videos I need to edit. They're filmed. I just need to edit them, and then
there's a lot of things, Charles, on the channel that I've abandoned because first up, no one watched the Doctor Who reviews. I really want to go through and review each episode, but they were a lot of work, and I'm trying to. I wish that this could be my full-time job, and then I could actually get a bunch more things done. But unfortunately, I have these nasty little kids to take care of during the day, and then the only time I have to edit is at night, and then it's also the only time I have to sleep, and so
Yep.
it's a constant balance of there's too many projects I want to take on, and not enough time to do them. I haven't finished my Rings of Power videos. I haven't finished my I've barely started my Wheel of Time videos, and I still have the final episode of Acolyte to edit, which is halfway done. So we'll get there. Oh, when do we get the Gatsby cut?
Yeah, we need
Never.
to create a subscriber threshold for that or something.
We'll never get the Gatsby cut. Over my dead channel.
Release the Kraken.
It's not good.
Oh,
Like,
it's actively bad.
You think you want it, but you don't. You don't want the Great Gatsby. Okay.
You want to see my teenage brother
Look,
swooning?
It's bad. I thought his name was the Great Gatsby. I introduced myself on screen as I am the Great Gatsby.
Yep.
Because I didn't read the book. I would make movies so I wouldn't have to make book reports.
Oh yeah, Charles has seen the Gatsby cut.
Oh, Gatsby cut's amazing. Please don't hype that. I'd be, oh, man. There's the Gatsby cut, and there's also the Canterbury Tales. There's the Pardoner's Tale. I only did one. I didn't do all of Canterbury Tales. I did the Pardoner's Tale. I did the Great Gatsby, and there was a third one that I did that was even worse. I might not even have anymore.
Yep.
You really don't want to see. Oh, I did my senior presentation project, which was awful too.
Well, Mark, if you like my Breakfast at Tiffany's, I do have an extended cut of that should be.
Oh yeah. There's The Mathematician as well, which is legitimately good. I made a murder mystery movie with my friend, and it's good.
Yeah.
I do a sexy dance in it. The Mathematician. That movie came from me and my friend were sitting in geometry class, and so we had protractors and compasses, and we would hold the protractors like they were weapons. And be like, this would be a great murder weapon if this
Brass
was a
knuckles.
blade. And so you like slice someone's neck or you stab someone. And so we just envisioned a serial killer who used math. He would murder people with protractors and compasses and computer viruses. So we came up with The Mathematician. It's pretty funny. It's legitimately funny. Our acting is horrible, but like the story it's pretty clever, I think. And the effects and editing could be much better because we're not good filmmakers.
Yeah.
Because The Great Gatsby is the one that Dad would show everyone. Because for some reason I put a music video in it. And so he liked that one a lot. That's the one he would show everybody. And the Mathematician was too long to show people. And Pardoner's Tale was an absolute mess. Because I had to do a whole bunch of reshoots for that by myself where I was pretending to be other actors.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to like show I couldn't film my face because one of the actors got sick and couldn't film on the second day. And so I just shot myself from the waist down, and it's an absolute The Pardoner's Tale is an absolute mess of a film. So Time Travel one was David's, and it's garbage. I just rewatched that one recently.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
That's
It's
available
it
online
is.
if you can find it.
It is pretty bad, David.
Yeah, it wasn't super great. I had an overarching narrative.
It was a great concept. It was a
wasn't
great
really
concept.
explained well.
And you also did this. You also fall under the same sin as me, where I'm like, "Oh, this would be a good joke," and then I ruined the joke by making it last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Okay, I get it. Why is this taking so long?" No. Okay, I got the joke. Why is it still going?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm gonna go sleep. And thresholds for the Gatsby cat. First off, I need to get it. I don't physically have it with me, which means I need to go back home to New Mexico and rip some DVDs. Or I could have my dad send it to me.
Which one? The Gatsby? Because I've
All
got
of
that
them.
on my computer hard drive right now.
Do you have the other two though? Because I would want the other.
I don't think I have the other two. I have all my old stuff. Some
Well,
of it,
the
some of
Gatsby,
it
the
is not.
DVD that I did for the I think it was for the Partner's Tale. I put all three of them on the same disc just so I could have them.
I just have the files on my computer.
So see you on Conan in an hour. Yeah, I might log on. To Conan.
Yep.
I might stream. No, I feel awful for streaming.
No,
I'm also trying to pad. I've got 2 more days to pad the number of books that I've read in a year. So I've been picking some short books and trying to just burn through them.
Oh, pick up one of the Myth Adventures.
I have too many other things to
They're
read.
seriously like 4 hours long. You can read. I've read 3 of them in one day.
I burned through. I've decided that next year I'm going to read the Bean books. So the Ender's Shadow.
Ender's Shadow, yeah.
Because I read Lost Boys and I got on an Orson Scott Card kick. So
Nice.
I just reread Ender's Game for the first time in like 20 years. So good. And now I'm going to go through the Shadow series because people have been begging me to read those. The Ender series videos, they keep getting random people showing up, like they're evergreen and like, oh, you're gonna keep going. I'm like, heck yeah. So I'm gonna read those. I've started Dresden Files. I read I read Stormfront, so I want to start streaming on those.
Nice.
And we're gonna get streaming, hopefully, Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 5 soon. It's just people have been busy because it's Christmas, and then I can start 6, and so there's going to be a couple things going, and I wanna get more so than I want to do the Doctor Who reviews. I want to get back to doing Discworld videos because I've read like 10 of them now that I haven't made videos on, and I need to make videos. I think I just got caught up doing the Devoid of Logic ones because those ones were what was popular. I stopped doing what I love. But anyway, we're going to do that. We're going to be doing Ultimate Nostalgia. And yes, in January, we're going to kick things into full gear. I'm going to kick myself in the butt, and I'm going to make sure that I make videos every day.
Nice.
That's the commitment. We've had a break. We've had a big break. Now we're going to get back into it in January. I'm trying to make the base nice looking. It's a slow night at work. Yeah. And I keep making the base bigger.
Yeah, good luck with that. And not only that, but Mark is the only one that has the DLC that will allow him to build the nice looking foundations and walls.
Yeah,
We can't even build those. So.
I might have bought one of the DLCs.
Nice.
I don't have the one that we're using for the main portion of the base though. I should buy that one too.
Yeah, because there was one time I accidentally deleted one of the floor pieces, and then
it's like, oops, I can't put it back.
I couldn't put it back. It gave me the resources to build it.
I bought the big one, the Isle of Stilgar or whatever, and that one comes with some of the ones we're using, but not the main one.
Nice. Yeah, I thought about getting that. I think it was on sale for the end of the year thing, but
yep. All right. Well, that's it. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week, and hopefully, sometime in the next 3 weeks, we'll get the Prophet of the Dragon on to come talk about Silo.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Okay.
Should try to get him at least for the finale.
These are. Oh, Mark. You should tell me which of the DLCs has that fancy, the fancy building material, because I already got the island one.
It's only 25% off right now.
Yeah.
It's more expensive than the base game was when I bought it. So,
Anyway, okay.
I'm assuming the Architects of Argos pack. That kind of looks.
Maybe.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Can we watch the Gatsby now? No. No. There needs. We need to set it. We need to.
You need a
do a
subscriber
goal.
threshold or
Once,
something.
I'll get them on my computer, and once I have them ready, we'll do like a goal thing for it.
Yeah. I have the full thing. I've got the music video, and then apparently I might have 2 versions of the music video, but I don't have your other stuff.
Because the music video was part of the Great Gatsby, but it was cut. It was only like half of it, and then I did a full version in the special features of the DVD.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where I just did the whole song, which is most of it was like I did most of the song was in the video anyway, because I don't know when to cut a joke, you know. But
yep. Anyway,
okay, I'm
still
exhausted.
haven't gotten those subscribers back from.
Still no. Now I'm gonna send another message, but YouTube is just the worst customer service of all time.
Yeah,
they suck. Screw YouTube.
Yep, and I've gotten two. Before the video plays, they've been doing surveys and stuff. Now I've gotten 2 of them saying, "Hey, how is our ad placement?" or how is our customer service?
Yeah. How about you go screw yourselves?
How about you give me back my damn subscribers?
Yeah.
Anyway,
fun. It was super fun spending all that time and
it was really money. Awesome. I thought it was a really great idea to get
getting a whole bunch of subscribers that they just took away in one day. So fun.
And they won't even be notified when we make new videos because they unsubscribe them. I don't understand their logic there, but anyway,
it doesn't make sense. And just talking to them was nonsensical. Their explanations, they're using like circular logic, and you're like, I'm trying to understand what happened and what I can do to make it better.
Yeah. And
they're like, oh well, this and that, and it was like I was talking to AI.
Yeah. It might have been. I would not be surprised.
But like I tried to escalate it like 4 times. Like, can I please talk to someone who actually knows what they're talking about? Because like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the booth was $200, right? And then plus all the we gave away.
We gave away a bunch of money. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See you.
I'm exhausted and super sick. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's true, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining. So please
Just consider joining Patreon and getting your name in the credits with pride.
I'd buy that for $1.